In this video I'll be taking a look at 20 amazing facts. Let me know in the comments if you knew any of these and which were your favourites. Number 20. The first 3D film was in 1922. The first 3D movie was The Power of Love, released in 1922, a silent movie which used the red and green analog light system to achieve a stereoscopic effect. The film was also interactive, as the viewer could choose the view from the red or green lens and get either a tragic or happy ending. Sadly, the film is now considered lost and no footage is known to exist. Number 19. Broccoli is man-made. Broccoli is a type of wild cabbage that was cultivated about 2,000 years ago, originally produced in Italy and taken to the United States and England before then being distributed around the world. However, it was not produced in a lab, it was the result of selective breeding which aims to develop a better version of a plant. Number 18. High heels were originally for men. High heels can be traced back to 15th century Persia, where soldiers would wear them to help secure their feet in stirrups. Persian migrants brought the high heel shoes to Europe, where male aristocrats would wear them to appear taller and more powerful. Number 17. OMG was first used in 1917. OMG, an abbreviation for Oh My God, was first used in a letter in 1917 from Lord Fisher to Winston Churchill. In the letter, Lord Fisher says, "I hear that a new order of knighthood is on the tapis, OMG, in brackets, oh my God." Number 16. Peanuts, walnuts, almonds and cashews are not nuts. So if they aren't nuts, what are they? Well, they are in fact a legume, which also includes things such as soybeans, chickpeas and lentils. Some examples of true nuts include acorns, chestnuts and hazelnuts. Botanically speaking, a nut implies that the shell does not open to release the seed. Number 15. Antarctica is the world's largest desert. When you think of a desert, you probably think of a very hot and sandy place. However, a desert is actually a region that is dry because it receives little to no water, which can take the form of rain, snow, mist or fog. When we think of deserts, we usually think of the Sahara, which is 3.6 million square miles. The Antarctica, however, is 5.5 million square miles in comparison, making it the world's largest desert. Number 14. In the 90s, half of the world's CDs were made for AOL sign-ups. In the early 90s, the internet was new and still a mystery to many people. AOL wanted to let customers try the internet firsthand, and so teamed up with Blockbuster to give their discs away to customers. It has been estimated that at one point 50% of all CDs that were produced had the AOL logo printed on them, and bear in mind this was at a time when people were still buying CDs. Number 13. Avocados never ripen on trees. Unlike most other fruit and vegetables, avocados will not ripen on trees and so can remain on trees for months without them going bad. Avocados need to be harvested at just the right time, otherwise they will have a low oil content and will not ripen sufficiently. Number 12. Fortune cookies are an American invention. Contrary to popular belief, the fortune cookie wasn't a Chinese invention, and while their exact origin is unclear, it is believed that various immigrant groups in California made them popular in the early 20th century. It is believed that the Japanese Tea Garden in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park was the first US restaurant to serve the fortune cookie. Number 11. The pH scale was invented by the Carlsberg brewery. When you think of the pH scale, beer is probably not the first thing that comes to mind. However, it was Søren Pepper Lauritz, who was a chemical director at Carlsberg Laboratories, the operations affiliated with the Carlsberg Brewery, who developed the pH scale in 1909. Number 10. Q is the only letter that's not in any US state name. Out of the 50 states of America, Q is the only letter that doesn't appear in any of their names. Every other letter of the alphabet shows up at least once. Arizona is the only state to have the letter Z in, and New Jersey is the only state to feature the letter J. Number 9. The letter A doesn't appear in a written number until you reach 1000. Considering that the letter A is the second most used letter, it's strange to think that if you were to write out the numbers from 1 to 999, the letter A would not appear. It finally shows up when you write the number 1000. Number 8. There are more Lego minifigures than there are people on Earth. It was estimated that by 2019 the number of Lego people would outnumber actual humans, and this doesn't even account for those that have been damaged or thrown away. Lego minifigures were first introduced in 1978 and had reached 4 billion by 2006, with an estimated 8 billion by 2019. Number 7. In every scene of Fight Club there is a Starbucks coffee cup. While Game of Thrones unintentionally featured a Starbucks coffee cup in an episode of the show, the film Fight Club intentionally features Starbucks coffee cups. The reason for so many of Starbucks coffee cups appearing in the film was director David Fincher's way of having a subtle dig at consumerism, with David Fincher stating that we had a lot of fun using that. There are Starbucks cups everywhere in every shot. I don't have anything personal against Starbucks. I think they are trying to do a good thing, they're just too successful. Number 6. A snail can sleep for 3 years. On average, snails sleep for 15 hours, falling in and out of sleep 7 times, and then they would get on with what they need to do for 30 hours straight. The snail's activity and sleep period is divided into 48 to 72 hours. Snails will mostly be awake at night when it's moist and humid. Snails need humidity to produce the mucus that lets them slide along the ground. When there are long periods of extreme weather, snails will sleep for 3 years, although it's not very common. Number 5. There are more stars in space than there are grains of sand on every beach in the world. Although it's hard to imagine and comprehend the vast numbers involved in coming to this conclusion, astronomers and scientists did arrive at this conclusion a while ago. It is estimated that there are about 70,000 million stars in the universe, and although the total grains of sand was close, it was roughly a factor of 10 smaller in comparison. Number 4. The most leaves found on a clover was 56. They say that finding a 4-leaf clover is considered lucky, but what about one with 56 leaves? This is what Shigo Obara of Hanamaki City in Japan discovered on the 10th of May 2009. Mr. Obara has studied clovers for many years. Number 3. Before mercury, brandy was used to fill thermometers. Thermometers have been around for hundreds of years, and early thermometers used water as the liquid of choice. The advantage of using alcohol in a thermometer, such as brandy, was that alcohol has a lower freezing point than mercury, so it can measure much lower temperatures. However, alcohol vaporizes at a lower temperature than mercury, so wouldn't be suitable when needing to measure higher temperatures. Number 2. The T-Rex's closest living relatives are birds and chickens. This was discovered in 2008 using material that was discovered in a chance find in 2003. Dinosaurs were thought to be cold-blooded large reptiles, and in 2003 scientists discovered some unfossilized material in a T-Rex bone. They were able to retrieve molecules of collagen and compared it with 21 living animals, including humans, mice, chickens, chimps, ostriches and alligators. The T-Rex collagen was found to be most similar to chickens and ostriches. Number 1. When you remember a past event, you're actually remembering the last time you remembered it and not the event itself. A study showed that every time we remember an event that happened in the past, our brain networks change in ways that alter the recall of that event. This means that the next time you remember the event, you might not remember the original event, but you remember the previous time you recalled it. Your memory of an event can grow less precise to the point of it being totally false. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a like, subscribe and ring that bell for notification of future videos. Thank you for watching.